Hey, greetings, y'all. Welcome to another one of my podcasts. This is Trenton 365. It's going to be broadcast over WIMG 1300, New Jersey's oldest radio station. So make sure that you go over to the website, WIMG1300.com. There you can find out all the information about the programming, all the different shows that are on there. You can even reach out to the DJs and make a selection. And then you can also stay interactively involved, especially with our morning team. Big shout out to Craig Hayes and the rest of the DJs who are doing work over there. So Trenton 365 is all about building community with a hyper focus on where I live, which is Trenton, New Jersey. And there's amazing folks who are here, and I'm connected to them in lots of different ways, whether it's directly through a sibling, through an agency, through the city, through a nonprofit. And sometimes in cases like this, it's a combination of those things. I'm going to be bringing on my friend Hope White. Hope's going to be talking about not only her and what she's been doing over the years, but she's going to be talking about her nonprofit organization and the Women of Hope, the Expo. Now, many years ago, I was fortunate enough to be able to attend one of these and was blown away by the amount of people who were there. And I was blown away by the amount of people who I did not know. When you do this kind of work, you kind of get into this routine of seeing the same folks doing the same things. Yeah. And when I went over to Hope's event, I was blown away by the different group of people who were there. So Hope, thank you so much for the invite. Thanks for coming on to my program to talk about what you have going on. You're welcome with Women of Hope. Can you do a brief introduction and let's jump right into talking to Women of Hope, why you got it started, what's the intent behind it, etc.
Again, my name is Hope. I am a native of Trenton, born and raised. West Trenton to be exact.
Hey, hey.
My mom still lives on Edgewood in West Trenton, so we ground rooted.
Nice.
I basically I've always been a part of this community. I've always been a part of doing something in the community since the age of 18, starting volunteering for the program called Weed and Seed. We're talking about a long time ago, but I started out volunteering there and just fell in love with working in the community, working with helping our inner city youth, families. And from there, I became a family worker for Mill Hill Child and Family Development Center. And I did that for years. So again, having the love and the passion of wanting to do service. You know, I was born and raised with a mother and a father that believed in helping the community and doing things within the church, within our neighborhood, keeping it clean, things of that nature. So it is something that me and my siblings, we've grown to do most of our life. My brother Ned, who still works in the city of Trenton, this is what we do. This is what we do. So a few years ago, myself and my son, we were sitting in our living room, and I just was like, I want to do something. I just want to give back to a lot of the agencies that helped me over the years as a single mom with my kids. But I felt like I was in a better position to be able to give back. So I never really cared for my name, Hope, growing up. But as you get older, you learn to respect and understand why you're named what you're named, And I felt like if nothing else, I can give some hope to Trenton. I can give some hope to people. And knowing that, there's something that I can do, whether it's big, small. I never realized that I would still be doing the Women Hope Expo. I'm super ecstatic that I'm still doing it, even during this pandemic. But I wanted to be able to give back to the organizations that have helped me, Women's Space, Homefront. This year, I haven't really decided what agency I wanted to give to, but I've always, every single one, I've given something to those organizations from Women Hope. And being able to connect with some amazing people over these past couple of years, people that just wanted to volunteer and help, and just wanted to be a part of it, is growing, which I'm definitely thankful for. More vendors wanting to be a part of it. I was surprised that I was actually able to get some companies to help sponsor, by donating, like I have Palmer's cocoa butter and some other natural hair product companies, that were super willing to just say, "Hey, yeah, we want to be a part of this," you know. And so I'm thankful. I'm blessed. I'm thankful and blessed to be able to just be able to be of service. You know.
Mhm. I hope you touched on a few things in the introduction. And a few things that stuck out to me was, you know, for as long as you can remember, you've been a part of doing this type of work. Like
Yeah.
you as a community, like your family, like you were just growing
Yes.
up. I'd like for us to spend a little bit of time to talk about that, because I think
Okay.
we sometimes, I don't want to say you are, but I think that sometimes in the work that we're doing, we don't give enough credit to the folks who instilled in us the
Absolutely.
reason to do it
Oh,
and the
I
experiences,
agree.
et cetera. So can you just chat
I
about that a little bit?
agree. Well, I can't talk enough about these two individuals that birthed me. you know, my parents, like, God bless, my father has passed on, but always didn't have a problem if he sees someone in need to give them a ride. Oh, you need to get to the grocery store. Not finding it robbery to take time out of his schedule or whatever. And both of my parents full-time jobs, they both worked for the state, both retired from the state, but did never find it robbery to my mama get up in the morning on the weekends and sweep around the neighborhood, you know, making sure that we understood the value of where you live, just taking care of where you live. No, we live here. And even though, they may consider this to be, the hood or whatever, you know, it's still our home. And we need to take value in our home. My mom used to always say that God won't bless you with more if you don't take care of what you have, and no matter how small you may think it is, he won't give you more. He won't, the fruit of your labors and the things that you do. You got to take pride in those small things that he'll grant you all of the wishes of the world that you will want, but you just really have to take pride in the small things. And the small thing was 500 block of Edgewood. And, we were a family, growing up, and my mom and some other neighbors, the Goodmans and Watsons, and, they all owned their homes there, and they would come out and clean. And then they would have the kids come out and clean, so you understood, like, hey, this is where we live. If nothing else, let's take care of home.
Hey,
Let's take care of home first. I live in Burlington now, but Trenton is my home, you know, and I'm always going to come back to Trenton and give. I'm always going to come back to Trenton and do. And my mom refuses to leave from Trenton. She was born in Mississippi, but she's been in Trenton over 50 something years. So in the same home, it wasn't like we moved all these different homes, but they've been in the same home on the 500 block of Edgewood my whole entire life. So I understand what it is to value those roots. And the roots came from my parents. They instilled us community, they instilled us family. We're huge on family. That's our foundation.
I'm glad we went down that path. I kind of feel as though we can kind of go down that path and just talk about your childhood, you and your brother, and all the stuff that was going on. But I'm glad you touched on that, right? Because even when we do things now, we may not understand the fruits of our labor, right?
Right.
But it is a type of wealth that we have. If this is ours, regardless of
Yes.
how it looks, it's ours. you show that
Mhm.
love and respect for what it has, that wealth, it's amazing how that wealth in things matures. And I'm glad that you brought up faith in the way that you did it, because I think that a lot of folks have a tendency to browbeat folks with faith. You know, do this, do that, you're wrong here, you
Oh,
should
absolutely.
do this,
I
and why
agree.
you dress like that, you shouldn't have gone here, and all those different things. And we forget that those folks in those situations are just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a process. It's not a light going on and things all of a sudden changing and no more problems because of the faith that you have. Life is a progression. And
Yes, it
you see
is.
the sun, you're going to see the rain. That's just what life is about. And I appreciate the fact that you're willing to talk about it, but you've taken it a step further, because the Women of Hope Expo, again, when I was there, and it was a few years ago,
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, how did I not know about this? And I know that's kind of how you and your family move.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's how y'all move. Like, kind of, you don't need a big fanfare. You don't need everybody knowing about what's going on. You just want to get the work
You
done.
know, honestly, the thing is that everything doesn't have to be all like glitz and glam, right? You don't have to put out everything that you do. You just do it. You're not doing it for the fanfare. You're not doing it for some extreme accolades, because you're doing it because it's your passion and something that you enjoy and you love to do. So when, just thinking about what I wanted to do to give back without really thinking much into it, it was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I ran with it. And because it was spirit led, I felt like it will be successful, because I wasn't looking for anybody to be like, oh my God, look at what Hope is doing. No, I wanted Women Hope to be what it is. I wanted to know that, number one, I have a family, I have children, I have grandchildren, and I want to leave with them the value that was given to me. And the value is to always be of service and not looking for someone to say what you did. You know what you did. You don't need somebody to sit there and put up a billboard or a poster or, oh goodness, you don't need to do that. You just do it. You know how they say, like, you do something but not expecting something in return? That's how it is. It's like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, I did this for such and such and they didn't do it for me. That's not why I did it. I did it because that's what I wanted to do. I'm not looking for something in return. And this is spirit led. I know you touched on religion and, being, because I know that there is a higher power that's guiding me in the way that I'm going. It's not me. I'm listening and I'm sitting in his presence, and I'm getting a full understanding of what he is requiring me to do. And the vendors that I pick the vendors according to how they make me feel when I communicate with them, when I talk to them. There are a lot of vendors that I don't pick, you know. So I'm choosy about that, because before we even start, what you didn't see at the very first time that you came was that before we open the doors, prayer happens. Um, and we're very respectful to everyone's choice of belief, you know, but we always ask for respect in the process. Um, but we do that because who's leading it needs to be first, and then everything else falls into place, so this is all spirit led. He gave this to me, and I have to be mindful of what he's given to me. And what he's given to me is a gift to be able to organize, be able to put something like this together and still be able to give. It's not about me receiving anything. I'm not looking to be making, the big bucks and things like that. If that comes, I'm grateful. If it doesn't, the service that I provided was the joy for me. So, and when I'm going, my kids could keep it going.
You check the box on a bunch of different things. Hey, it's not about you. You want to pay respect and give some shine back to who helped you to get to a better
Yes.
place in your life. and you've got it set up, because I met your son. I think I met just your son when I was there a while back.
Oh,
He,
Cameron, yes.
yeah, Cameron, yes. And he was working. He was working. He was in the grind, learning about this process. And you touched on it. Hey, this is something that if they want to continue with it and it works out, they can continue with it. And even that alone, I think people of color, we often are not even educated on how things get built for longevity or for legacy. And that's what you're doing right there. My kids are involved in it
Trying.
now. And when and if
Yeah.
I'm gone, if they want to roll with it, they got it. They can just step right in. Same thing if you were a butcher, a baker, or a candlestick maker. It'd be the same
That's
exact thing.
right.
Your kids are
That's
here.
right.
I'm teaching them what I do, and then we go from there. You touched on a few of the agencies that were very, very helpful to you, and you spotlighted Woman Space and Homefront. Are there
Yes.
any others that you'd like to, give a little bit of shine to right now?
I'm looking to really connect with some other agencies. I haven't quite put my finger on a few. I do know that the reason why those two spotlighted at the beginning of this is because they touched home for me. Um, Women's Space helped me at a point where I needed that kind of help and support. Homefront helped me when it came to having a home for me and my children. They not only helped us get a home, they also helped furnish our first place that we had. Women's Space, they gave me counseling, therapy at Women's Space. It wasn't just about domestic violence. It wasn't just about, it was just about me being a single mama at the time. I just had my daughter. But they helped me through therapy. They gave me counseling. Like, so there's so many things that they do that a lot of people don't know that they do. It's not just, oh, it's domestic. No, it's more than that. They give a lot of things. So I know that I wanted to work with fatherhood in the upcoming next time that I, do something. This time I'm looking to really focus on breast cancer. It's really huge right now for me and my family. Um, all it's like so many different forms of cancer, but breast cancer is the biggest thing right now within our family. So yeah, there's a lot of, because I don't want. Also, let me make sure I say this: it's not just about women. I really have to say that. I say this every year, but it's not just about women. It really isn't. It's about community. It's about family. You know, of all diversities. It's not just about African Americans. It's not just about Latinos. It is about community. It's about being a human being. It's about humanity. It is about us getting together, doing more things together, and having this division to be broken, because there's so much division right now within our world that needs to be eliminated. So this is about community. It's about us coming together for one common cause, and that cause is to show others, show our young people that we can all get along. It doesn't have to always be a party. It doesn't always have to be, something like it can be something that shows you about how to start a business, how to create something that's yours. You know, I teach my kids about being their own person. And my son, he's going to school right now for photography and videography. I'm not just teaching him that, okay, you're going to get this degree. No, it's going to be beyond the degree. You're going to have your own business. You're going to be a photographer. That's going to be your company. That's going to be your brand. My daughter, she does makeup. You're not just doing makeup. You're going to be an ambassador. You're going to have people working for you. You're going to have a company. So it's beyond surface. You got to build. And that's what it's about. It's about building community. And that's what I want to do.
Well, I mean, I can say that just from my experience of seeing it, you are, and I want to be a part of helping you multiply that. And I'm glad that you mentioned what your son and your daughter are into. There's always space for any young people who want to get involved in, like, the technology, the other side of production and shows and things like this. Please make sure that you have Cameron. And what's your daughter's name?
Faith.
Faith. I think I met Faith as well. Now that I think about it, because I think I made a joke about hope and faith, if I remember
Yes.
correctly. So if we get Cameron and Faith, let's sit down and talk to them. I mean, part
Yeah.
of what this is about is providing opportunities and shine for people who are in my network and in my audience who are not connected to the wonderful human beings like yourself, who I know, because that's how this
Mhm.
works. Like, it's, hey,
That's exactly how it works.
you just keep putting people, in spaces, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But as long as it's done respectful, you can always come back and maybe do
Absolutely.
it later. And so with the expo, do you have space for more vendors? Do you have opportunities for sponsors or anyone else to come on? And most importantly, please give the dates, times, and how people can come and participate.
Okay. Yay. Okay, so the Women Hope Expo, this is the third year. Of course, it would have been four. My kid says, Mom, stop saying that. Only because, with the pandemic last year, we weren't able to do the expo last year. But I was so thankful that, we're able to make it happen this year. Currently, I do not have any more vending space.
Wow. Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
I am currently at this moment, and it really was going to be more, but because of spacing, I want to make sure that I am definitely mindful of the pandemic. So I want to keep spacing and not overfill the room to where people aren't comfortable. Um, so I want my vendors to be comfortable as well as the people that attend. So I am being mindful of that. So I did cut a number of vendors that my goal was to have because of the pandemic. I wanted to make sure we remain safe and mindful of everyone. Um, it is March the 12th at 12 p.m. and it's going to be at the Knights of Columbus, which is in Hamilton Township. Um, and I am still open to sponsors. They can always email me at womenhope2018@gmail.com, or you can contact me by phone 609-421-5934. And I can give you all the information for sponsorship. I do have a form, a letter that I do give to sponsors, anyone that's interested. And it doesn't have to be monetary completely either. If there's things that you would like to donate, because I do raffles, which is more ways of raising money to be able to give to an organization. Um, at some point, I do want to be able to set up a scholarship for students at Trenton High. That is one of my goals, to be able to at least be able to supply them to be able to get books or something. So I am looking to do that in the future as well. Um, but yeah, we have over 15 vendors right now that are registered, signed up, ready to roll. um, and excuse me. And we have a variety of vendors. So a lot of people were wanting to be vendors, but I didn't want to duplicate vendors. So if I had two jewelry, I didn't want to get another somebody with jewelry. So I was very selective, making sure that I had a variety of people there so that, you'll be surprised what you see. And they're not all from Trenton, um, which is another thing because when I'm
Mhm.
looking for vendors, I go everywhere.
Yes.
um, I'm at other expos, I'm at other vending events, giving out my information. I'm walking around, I travel, I go North Jersey, South Jersey, and Philly, looking for new vendors because I want us to be exposed to some other, avenues and some other people that you may not have ever thought about connecting with. And I think that's what set us apart. The first time we did it was because I had vendors from New York, I had vendors from Philly, I had vendors from everywhere, and I want to keep that momentum going. The plan is to grow. The plan is to have more bigger, you know, larger than life, um, and something that you've never seen before. Something you've never seen before. And that's what I want. I want you to get a different feel when you walk in. I greet every person that comes into the door. I make sure that everyone is happy. I think that I have vendors that wanted to come back just because of how they felt from our interaction. And it wasn't about how much money they made. It wasn't about, they were happy by the connections that we made while they were a part of our event.
I sent it to you.
That's awesome. I'm going to run this down. Just make sure I have the information correct when I share it. Hope White is the
Okay.
creator and founder of WomenHope Expo, and it's happening March 12th, 2022 at 12 noon Eastern time. And that's at the Knights of Columbus, which is located in Hamilton. And the best thing to do is call 609-421-5934. 609-421-5934, or send an email, womenhope2018@gmail.com. womenhope2018@gmail.com. I have all that correct?
Yes, you can also go on Eventbrite, for those that are looking to purchase tickets. It is on Eventbrite, under Women Hope. You can look up third annual Women Hope on Eventbrite, and you'll be able to purchase your tickets there.
And there we have it. Hope, oh, look at you. I really appreciate you, and I'm glad that we were able to get this together so quickly.
I appreciate you
Oh, blessings.
completely.
Yes. So I want to make sure that you always have space and time. Just call me, email me. You always are welcome, and you know that you got my support.
Thank you.
Okay. You
So
got it.
please, so
Blessings. And
thank you.
you're welcome. And there you have it, folks. Another episode of Trenton 365. This is going to be broadcast over New Jersey's oldest radio station, WIMG 1300. And make sure you follow them on the website, WIMG1300.com. I'm Jacque Howard, media professional, voice of Black cannabis, Trenton Cycling Revolution, and a host of other things. Always looking for opportunities to connect with others who are in the space, how I can help, how we can partner, how we can collaborate, how we can build together, because the goal of what I do is to build a better community for everyone. In closing, remember, it's always about justice, peace, and humility.